Welcome to the Steren Electronics Dealer Webinar. I am Evan Kinsella, CFO of Steren Electronics. Once again, we are glad you're joining us today. We hope you have enjoyed the holidays with family and friends, and we also sincerely hope that business has been very good for you this quarter. During today's webinar, we'll be providing updates on marketing, product, the Google community, and the CES dealer event next week in Las Vegas. Speaking today will be Ben Norton, Chief Marketing Officer, Craig Fellman, President of New Tech Supply, and Elisa Jones, Sales Director. Also in attendance on the call, as usual, are David Sterenberg, CEO US, Darren Rawson, President, Alex Cohen, Senior Vice President, Tracy Stansbury, Merchandising Manager. We welcome your questions. Simply click the question box located on the right-hand side of your screen. After the presentation, we will answer questions that have been submitted. Hope you enjoyed today's webinar and it's informative to you. At this time, I will hand it over to Mr. Ben Norton.
Thank you, Evan, and good afternoon. Happy holidays to everyone on the line. I hope it's been a very prosperous 2015 for you. As we wrap up the year, I thought it might make sense to take a minute and look back on some of the marketing activities that we've been working on these recent months and some of the activities we're working on currently. So you see here in summary fashion a waterfall of those activities. Many of you may be familiar with some of these, and so I'm glad to step through them each in some more detail in the following slides. So those of you who've had the opportunity to access the dealer portal, which went live in October, you found a variety of marketing items from banners and flags and the like. And we hope as we enter into 2016, you'll continue to take advantage of those offerings as we continue to add more to the list of different marketing items. We also launched a new consumer-facing website, which with this, we'll be able to do a variety of digital marketing initiatives as we go into the new year, all with the purpose of further introducing and driving the brand at the local level and ultimately driving in-store sales. Many of you have had the opportunity to take advantage of the local PR kit, which was made available in November, and we're very happy to be ready, finishing our preparations for our national campaign, which is set to kick off at the end of January. We're very proud to announce just in these last days the local store websites have gone live, and those URLs for each local location will be made available after this call via the Google community. And so with this platform, we will be able to do very localized marketing, all again for the purpose of driving business in your local store. In parallel, you see here a mock-up of our Super Bowl promotion, which though these products and some of the items are still being finalized, you can see what we have cooking up for right after the holidays. Next on our list will be to deploy our social media platform, which will allow us to do very localized social media campaigns of a variety of sorts. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Evan for further handoff.
Thanks, Ben. And feel free to contact us if you have specific questions about any of those initiatives. As you can see, and as you know, we've been working on many initiatives through the year and will continue. So your input and feedback is expected and invited. Next, I will hand it over to Craig Fellman to talk about product.
Thank you, Evan, and happy holidays to everyone. So the first slide that I've got on the screen here is kind of a recap of what we discussed during our last webinar. Just want to remind you guys and emphasize that products literally are arriving weekly. And as you can see on this slide, we're getting more and more into what I call the consumer goods, CE, consumer electronics. I would like to point out a few things. One of our products that is getting rave reviews is the Steren 300 megabytes router that's pictured here. As I say, numerous customers have reported excellent range on it, and we're getting a lot of reorders. So if you haven't yet tried that, I would highly recommend that product. It's, as I say, getting rave reviews. You know, key items like our FM transmitters, we now have 3 different SKUs under the Steren brand in stock. One is pictured here on the page. I think you'll find the quality to be very good and the pricing to be exceptional. And as also pictured on this screen, you'll see the multi-tester meters. Obviously, that's a key item for many of the dealers, and I can tell you at the present time, there are 4 different models in all different price ranges, so those have landed and are shipping as we speak. Damien, if you go to the next slide. So what's happened since we last spoke is itemized on this slide, and as you can see, many new products are coming in. In the top right, I've pictured the antenna. This is for fringe areas that require, the antennas to bring in the signals from miles away. We actually originally got these in June. It was nearly 1,000 pieces, and they sold out very quickly. So at the present time, our last shipment that arrived a couple weeks ago was 1,200 pieces. They are selling well, and just a heads up to all you guys that have been asking about them, they are in fact in stock. Also, we've expedited soldering products, both the solder itself, the solder wick, the solder irons, the helping hands. Again, this is based on feedback from the dealers, and I can tell you out of the 10 or 12 SKUs that we expedited in that category, roughly 6 are in stock. The other 6 are scheduled to land within the next 7 to 10 days. So again, your feedback is valued, and we are acting on that feedback. And as you can see on the slide, the images kind of give you that old picture's worth 1,000 words thing, but Steren does offer a very good line of telephones. So these range from your entry-level cordless phones to your corded trimline phones. There's a roughly 12 to 15 SKUs in that category. If you want to search them on the NewTek website, they all begin with the prefix TEL-. If you'll put that in the search box, it'll bring up and show you all the various models and give you the in-stock positions on each. But again, truly every week progress is being made, inventories are growing, and you can see it's an eclectic, wide variety of products that are available to you. Damien, would you roll to the next screen? So another initiative that we touched on when we last spoke was utilizing the equipment that Steren purchased, and what I mean by that is it's state-of-the-art equipment that will take items that Steren currently has in U.S. inventory, many of which are pictured here on this screen, and it gives us the ability to put in a retail package domestically. It's a huge advantage for us. As many of you know, there's significant lead times from China, and so having Steren's decades of experience in the U.S. And that vast inventory that they hold, and being able to expedite and act quickly to our dealers' needs is a very significant advantage. And many of the items pictured on this slide are presently being retail packaged, barcoded, and sent to the distribution centers. So we're very excited about that, and you will see that come up in the reports that you get on product availability within the next 7 to 14 days. So switching gears, Damien, if you go to the next slide. Obviously, we have CES coming up next week. This is a great opportunity for the dealers that are making the trip out there to interface not only with myself, but of course the principals of Steren, namely David. And I think it's a great opportunity for us, and this is where I do have direct involvement, to reach out to many of what I'll call Tier 1 manufacturers and open the channels of communication to hopefully partner with them and bring a lot more of these Tier 1 brands to our dealer network. So this slide shows you an overview of what's on the slate, companies that we're engaging with. We'll either be meeting with them at the CES show, or in some cases they'll be coming to our facilities in California to have more detailed meetings. But we've listened to your feedback. I think most of you will agree the categories that are outlined here are what we see dealers asking for and what we intend to get for you. So that initiative is well underway. And then finally, my last slide, I've just kind of given a recap or an overview of our current product availability. So I broke it down by categories or subcategories, and I'm listing all the brands that we have within those categories. You know, obviously you're going to see Steren come up quite a bit because that is who we are and our focus of where we want to become more and more so. You know, we have several initiatives that we'll cover in Vegas where we're taking key, well-known sellers that are, we currently have under third-party brands and converting them to Steren. We're adding extra features and benefits, and then ultimately, we want to have that Steren branding because that gives you guys an advantage to where you're not competing against, everybody else on the planet that's selling a Bluetooth cassette adapter. No one else will have the Steren branded Bluetooth adapter except for you, and that was a strategy that Radio Shack used years ago with their Realistic and other house brands that I thought was very successful. But there's truly a lot going on in the product end of it. Again, Alex and I are working closely together. We're excited to meet with the folks that are coming out to Vegas, and we'll have more details at that time. With that, I will turn it back over to Evan.
Thanks, Craig. Lots of exciting things going on the product front, and we will continue to make additional progress as we move forward. This time I will turn it over to Elisa.
Hello, team. Happy New Year and happy holidays to all of you. Couple things I want to go over, just some of the housekeeping is we still need to work with you guys on onboarding you guys to the Google community. I know a lot of you have been getting on board the last couple months. We need to really push forward to 2016 to get all of you included on this. So if you haven't been invited, if you haven't seen an invitation, we'll be reaching out to you in the next couple weeks and through CES to get you guys involved. We really want to use this in 2016 as our communications out to you. Yes, I am a fan of Facebook, but there's a lot of information that we need to share with you that we want to keep within our community, and we want to be able to share information with you and not blast it out to everyone. Couple of things we have going on. We're excited about the CES Dealer Breakfast. I know we reached out to a lot of you. CES, January in Vegas, 200,000 of your closest friends. A lot of you can't make it, so what we want to do is we're going to record and we're going to do a webinar at the breakfast January 7th from 9 to 10. We want to include all of the dealers, not just the people that were able to get to Vegas. So if you happen to get to Vegas between now and then and have a change of plans, we will be meeting at the Paris in the Burgundy room from 8 to 11. The entire Steren team will be there to meet and greet and to speak with you. We will have an agenda and a lot of exciting information that we want to share with you about 2016. Our cell phone plan will be announced then. We will also be working out what our future looks like in 2016, where we're going in 2016, what our product looks like. A lot of new things coming out. So we don't want to leave any of you guys out. The webinar will send out an invitation the next couple days so you guys can get registered, and we will record it. So if you guys want to listen to it later, if you have questions for us, we'll definitely be able to answer those questions and get back to you. If you do make it to Vegas and you're not able to attend the breakfast, Jen, Teresa, and I will be available and have actually appointments with a lot of you guys that are coming to be able to walk the show, talk about new products, talk about what's going on with Steren and New Tech, and how we can better serve you in 2016 and the things that we need to improve on, the things that we need to move forward on. So Vegas, January 7th, our webinars from 9 to 10. We'll send out an invitation and get you registered. For those of you that are coming, I look forward to meeting you again personally.
Thanks, Elisa. We do have a few questions. Craig, the first one is a dual question related to New Tech Connect. First part of the question is, has it been fixed so the out of stock and so forth will not download to POS? And the second is, are the correct barcode numbers being transmitted on the Connect?
Both very good questions, and the honest answer is progress is being made. The UPC issue, getting correct UPCs, is a fairly simple fix. It's just slightly labor intensive. That initiative is well underway, and I would expect to have that completed in a matter of days. The other issue of where we show out of stocks, or in many cases, it's kind of a flag internally to us when an item is discontinued, end of life, that is the purpose of that message, or that information being in the description, is to let our salespeople know, hey, ABC is end of life, C XYZ. Otherwise, we keep pushing over things that will never ship to you because they don't exist anymore. There's some challenges in finding other methods to accomplish that goal. We've reached out to Alan at IDOSoft, and honestly, I'm not heading that up, so I don't know exactly where it's at, but I'm noting these questions, and I will follow up and post this on the Google site, the answers that I find.
Thanks, Craig. And here's a specific one, maybe make a notation to also put this on the Google site. Product descriptions that are stating temp out, and they get the actual descriptions. So you might look into that as well in your response.
Yes, I will, and that ties pretty much to one part of the previous question. It's more or less the same, and I understand the dealer's frustration. You know, if they're printing out a ticket, it looks pretty odd to a customer. I totally get that, and I will take ownership of that and report back to everyone on the Google site.
Thanks, Craig. Another one for you, if you could field it, is what's the status of Memphis and resolution of issues and any problems that we've experienced?
Very good question. It's a source of great frustration, not only for our dealers, but us as well. I mean, obviously, it's very frustrating when you hire a company that their only job is to warehouse and fulfill your orders, and they seem to really struggle with that. So there are a lot of initiatives being taken. I had an in-depth conversation with a high-ranking person in that organization yesterday. He outlined the measures that are being taken to address and correct the numerous issues. I mean, as a lot of you know, you name it, whether it's under-shipping, over-shipping, shipping to wrong addresses, untimely shipping, you know, pretty much anything you could think of that could go wrong has gone wrong. We are holding their feet to the fire to correct it. Myself and Erasmo are in daily conversations with them, and I'm confident they will get it right. You know, the bottom line is, if they don't, we'll find someone who will. But right now, I can tell you that we're acutely aware of the problems, and it is a top priority to get that fixed.
Thanks, Craig, and I would echo those sentiments. We certainly have had some growing pains associated with the Memphis third-party facility. We do have an on-site Steren location in Memphis, and so we have feet on the street, so to speak, that are able to go over there and try to address those issues. Please be assured that we're doing everything we can to get that fully resolved. It impacts us as well as you. So we'll keep you up to date on that, but our expectation is that we need to get this resolved as quickly as possible, and certainly thought it would have been resolved by this time. This is a question for Elisa, and I think it's important for us to review this. We obviously enjoy everyone's participation on the Google community. We want to make sure that that forum is being appropriately monitored and responded to from our standpoint specifically. But I'd like Elisa to expand on that a little bit.
Okay, guys, on the Google community, what we've done is it's not just one person on the team answering all your questions on the Google community. It's an entire team. So if you have marketing questions, Ben will jump in and answer marketing questions. Product questions go down to product management. Anything that refers to the dealer support, Jen and Teresa and I can answer. Our goal is to get back to you within the hour. A lot of times, and I'm equally guilty, for me, I didn't respond on the Google community. I just pick up the phone and have a conversation. But what I will do is do a follow-up to that, because I see that it looks like some of the questions are going unanswered, when in fact we've actually picked up the phone and had a conversation to get it resolved. So on our end, we will get back to you on the Google community within the hour, even if it's just a follow-up to say, we're working on it, let's have a discussion. Definitely don't want you guys to feel that you're being ignored or questions are unanswered on that. So it's definitely a discipline on the Steren side. And just know there's a team of people behind you that are working and posting on the Google community.
Thanks, Elisa. Another question, and I'll expand this a bit, and I'll take it. The specific question was, will the threshold for free shipping be lowered soon? And I think that goes to a broader topic, which is the all-inclusive relationship that we have together. That includes free shipping freight loads, it includes sell packs, it includes credit terms, it includes lots of things that we're here to support you on. So as you know, goal number one was to get us through this quarter of the holiday season, to get as much product in your hands as possible so that we could make you successful at the storefront. There are a number of business issues such as these that we are working on, but took second place compared to getting that product in for you. Rest assured that we will continue to forge ahead to make sure that we have a comprehensive program so that you understand very specific answers such as that. Related to that, what is the time frame of the full Steren store agreement? And consistent with what I just said, we have been working on that, but job one was to get product in and make sure we had warehousing working, and obviously, you know, we're still dealing with some issues on that end. What we do expect is to give you a better update during next week's webinar that will be held on site at Paris and Las Vegas as to the status of that. We are working on the store agreement, some of the different support provisions and things like that. So we will be able to give you a status update on that. Darren Rawson will be doing that specifically, and also give you a timeline on where we're headed with that. Craig, I have a very specific product question for you, and I know you love these ones.
These are my favorite.
Are we getting solders in sizes smaller than 1 pound, higher wattage soldering irons other than 30 watt, etc.?
So the solder itself in less than 1 pound, yes. It's referred to as 7 foot. It's a little tube that you just pull out the top. So yes, those are in transit right now. I want to say dealer cost is under $1, so it's something you would retail at $3 or $4 for the people that don't want the full pound. So the answer is yes on that. The irons themselves, there's a 30 watt iron, a 35 watt iron, and then there's also a desktop station, I guess you'd call it. And let me see if I can quickly find out what the wattage is on that. My memory is that, my recollection is this one's adjustable, so let me verify that.
Hey, Craig, while you're looking, why don't I go to the next question real quick? We'll field that, and then we'll come back to it.
Sure.
Are sales sacks available? I'm assuming that means the bags, in-store bags.
Yes, we do have bags available. They're here in 3 sizes. We will be starting to ship those right after the first of the year to the stores, to the dealers.
Thank you, Elisa.
I have an answer,
Craig.
Evan. Yep.
Perfecto. Go for
All
it.
right. So the soldering station, that's a part number CAU, Charlie Apple Uniform -190, is in stock. It's adjustable up to 45 watt.
Great. Thank you, Craig. The other note I wanted to make was thank you, everyone, for participating in the Black Friday promotion, enduring some of the hiccups. Hopefully some of you went through with flying colors, got the product you needed, and everything like that. Also, thank you for coordinating with the team here, specifically Doreen McCrae, on folks that signed up for the ACH withdrawal. We much appreciate it, and we hope that the extension of that credit helped you get appropriately stocked so that you could maximize your sales during the selling season. At this point, we have no further questions that I can see, so we'll go to close this. First and foremost, we hope to see as many as possible next week in Las Vegas. Remember, we will be having an event on Thursday, January 7th. The event is from 8 until 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight or Standard Time at Paris in the Burgundy Room. The webinar will be held from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So anybody that is not in Las Vegas, please join us, and I'm sure you'll be receiving invitations from Jen and other folks so that you can join that. Our next webinar, not at CES, will be January 26th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we have a number of events coming up. And obviously, in advance of the Thursday event in Las Vegas, if you're in town and have not reached out to someone on Craig's team or our team here, specifically Jen or Teresa or Elisa, please reach out because we'd like to spend the day with you on Wednesday to walk around, as Elisa said, look at new products, and obviously get to talk face-to-face with everybody. Thanks again for attending today's webinar. As I mentioned, we hope to see as many as possible next week in Las Vegas. If you have any further questions, you can always email at info@sterenusa.com. Call us at 844-897-0056, or I'm sure that many of you have direct lines into any number of people on the team here. Feel free to contact us directly. In closing, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe New Year over the weekend. Have fun with family and friends, but please be safe out there, and look forward to seeing you next week in Las Vegas.